Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on, everyone? Welcome. I'm just gonna grab a quick drink of water, and we'll get started here in just a few minutes here. Say hello in the chat. Say hello. Say where you're watching from. We'll get started here soon. Let me know how the volume and everything is. Make sure to retweet this. Make sure to hit the like button. Retweet, hit the like button. Smash up the likes. Hit the subscribe button. Come on, let's get a couple more people in here before we get started. Okay. All right, what is going on, guys, gals, aliens, and Degen freaks? Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, I show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. So, I'm just so glad to be back. Man, I can't tell you the crypto week I've had. I mean, it has been a journey to say the least. So, I think with everything in this life, there are so many things that you can learn from, whether you succeeded or failed. I think you just have to be very aware of your strengths and your weaknesses, and just that's something that I had dealt with on this trip that I took. I did a crypto trip. If you guys follow me, I went to visit the BitLab Academy, and also kind of toured the Hit Network studio, and had an interesting experience. And coming off of that experience, I feel refreshed. I feel good. I feel ready to go. I feel even more inspired to keep pushing and to keep doing what I'm doing. I think now more than ever, I'm very reaffirmed that I'm in the right place, especially when people tell you no. If you're being told no, and also that something that you thought was going to be received well was not received well, doesn't mean that your ideas or the things that you were doing were necessarily bad. Doors get closed on you constantly when you are actually trying to do something and trying to succeed. You might get a million doors closed in your face, but you know what? A door will open. And that's the message that I have for you guys, that you will have that magic door open for you. And I want you guys to succeed just as much as I want myself to succeed with my endeavors, with trying to build up my family and wealth and experience, and so I want to just share my experience, and that is something that I am just learning right now. And so I want you guys to share your thoughts in the chat, share your thoughts in the comments after watching this, and also let me know if I'm not too loud here. Want to make sure that I'm not blasting. I think it should be pretty good. But essentially, you know, we have been having some turbulence here in the market, but also if we look, and by the way, if you haven't already, go to my Twitter and give me a follow. It's a Dano Crypto 904 at Dano Crypto 904, and you can get quick updates there. You can see this was the show that I went on with Kelly Kellum.
But what's interesting is that if this candle is a
you can see I end up everywhere sometimes, and that's what's going to happen. You're going to see Dano Crypto everywhere. If you guys are tuning in and you're following me, I was supposed to go on the Wendy O show on Friday, and her schedule kind of changed up a little bit, so we'll see when the next time I can get on that show. Definitely, hopefully we'll get another chance to get on. I think we're going to get another date. We'll see how that goes, and I think it's usually on a Friday. It's Influencer Friday, so yeah, give me a follow on the Twitter here, and make sure you are saying what's up in the chat if you're in the chat, and give me a heart in the chat, give me a thumbs up, give me a 1, give me something in the chat. Let me know you're there. Let me know you guys are alive, and we will get into the markets here. So recently, I think the main thing that has been in the most news with crypto is these Bitcoin forks seeing a pump. So we have Bitcoin Cash here on the month is up 151% compared to, I mean, that is the highest price valuation for, what's going on? What's going on, Keithman? You're long on BTC? Yeah, so unfortunately, I'm in no trades right now. I kind of was in and out, had some profit, and honestly, I got stomped out on and got liquidated a little bit when we had that massive, that quick candle in the morning on Friday morning. We had that nasty candle on that news of some of the filings being rejected by the SEC. So with that, I didn't have a proper stop losses on my particular long. So I think I'm gonna re-long, go back in, and let me know what you guys are doing. And so with the Bitcoin Cash, we also had Bitcoin Satoshi Vision up 56%, and then along with this is the monthly. So we got Caspa up 62%, FTT is up 73%. So and then honestly, there's a lot of news with FTT is apparently coming back and relaunching. So they're relaunching the exchange, and so with that news, I think people are trading on that news. And the token, obviously, from the point of the crash of FTX, the FTT token obviously has been leveraged all over the place. So what else we have here? Injective Protocols was up 19% on the monthly. Stacks. See, we got here eCash, XEC, and so I remember this was I can't remember the name. This had a different name because this switched names and rebranded a few years ago. And for the life of me, I cannot remember what the other name was. See, you got Compound up 47%. So look, this is on the monthly. So if we go to the hourly here, we have a couple of those altcoins that we just talked about down a good 3 to 4% here. Hex down 3.5%, and FTT down 4%. So a lot of times you see those big pumps like that, it's probably a good opportunity to catch a retracement and put in a short. And then you can see where it's finding that previous support level and see if it hits that and then you can trade off of the previous support looking back in the chart. And that's kind of like what I've been looking at here. Speaking of previous resistance and support, right here, if you're looking at this chart, this is a BTC chart, and this is on the 4-hour. And smash up the likes, guys. Come on, hit the like button, smash up the likes, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for tuning in. You're on Dano Crypto. On this channel, I give you all of the quick, simple, effective, easy moves that you can pull in the cryptocurrency ecosystems here. And so here we have right here the inverse head and shoulders, and then we have what looked kind of like a head and shoulders pattern, and then that's the candle on the 30th. And then we see that candle recovered a little bit, and if we go in here, go ahead and zoom in up a little bit, you can see that we're kind of, I guess, what you would call either a bull flag of a sort, but some could potentially call that a bear flag. So let's see when we got a bear flag trading. I am not a robot. Oh, am I getting roboted? Look at this. I'm not a robot, I swear. All right. This is so funny. All the stairs. Okay. I have to verify this. What am I verifying here through Google? This is crazy. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, there we go. Here's a good representation. All right, a bear pennant. Okay, bear flag. Could potentially be a bear pennant, but then let's see, a bullish bull flag. Okay, so actually, we could be on a flag channel here. Let's go back. Yeah, that could, but what's so interesting is because it dropped down close to. That wick hit 20. That wick hit 29. I mean, gosh, it hit. How low did that go? 29.5. Did it go as low as 29.5? Wow, so, man. So my original buy-in was it a buy? Okay, so and this was on the 4-hour. This was on the 30th. Yeah, so this was where. That candle, yeah, had some buys in here. Was gonna should have taken profit right here, and then bam, that's where I got liquidated right there, essentially. So it's curious. It's like it seems like we're going a little sideways here, and then now we're fighting this this previous. Let's see if we can look here and see where the other, if it lines up with previous. I think I had some other things drawn here. If it lines up with previous resistance. Look at the... Okay. So... Right here... was a resistance point price, and then we dropped right here. But this is on the weekly. If we look at the daily, yeah. So it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell a little bit right now because we're in this kind of interesting head and shoulder. It looks like what appears to be a head and shoulders. We're looking at that. Yeah, so it's looking interesting. So yeah, so let's get into the news a little bit. So how much money does it take to moon Bitcoin? So this is an analysis. So Bitcoiners have many things to be bullish about in the next few months, but analysts think the halving may not be one of them. So what's interesting is that the resurgence of institutional interest in Bitcoin this month has investors and analysts pondering just how high its price could go with the next 2 years, especially with the halving just around the corner. So here's what analysts have to say regarding Bitcoin's price. So institutional involvement. So through June, we have the high net worth asset managers, including BlackRock and Fidelity, filed applications to launch a Bitcoin spot ETF. And in the United States, major banks and investment managers, including BNY Mellon, Invesco, Morgan Stanley, already dabbled in launching Bitcoin-related products such as OTC trading and custody services. So, over-the-counter custody service trading, which basically means, if you in your Fidelity, Bitcoin and Ether trading and custody, full-stack crypto wealth management solutions. And so JP Morgan, you can do tokenized USD and EUR transfers. Access to 3 Bitcoin funds through Morgan Stanley. And so under this, it's a quick glance at 27 trillion of class and assets here in combination with all of these firms and the activities that they're involved with. So even just getting a piece of that action right there into Bitcoin will definitely cause the price to surge, because obviously with the halving, you have the supply being scarce. And if we look into what ChatGPT here, we're going to go into ChatGPT, and we are going to here zoom in a little bit. Let's see. I want to get it on a view that is, let's see. Let me get into a better view here. Okay, so it says, from a supply and demand standpoint, the price of cryptocurrency can go up due to various factors influencing the market. Let's break down how supply and demand dynamics play a role in driving the price of cryptocurrencies higher. So a limited supply. So that's with like Bitcoin, Litecoin. What are some other coins that have a limited supply? I can't think of some off the top of my head, but those are definitely the top. So cryptocurrencies often have a predetermined maximum supply. For example, Bitcoin has a fixed supply cap of 21 million coins. When the demand for a cryptocurrency increases but the supply remains limited, scarcity comes into play. As more people want to buy the cryptocurrency and the available supply is limited, the price tends to rise. So that's what we want. Increasing demand. So the demand is if, like, for instance, the demand for countries to be using Bitcoin as a reserve currency to be able to have on their balance sheet and for their protection. Basically a hedge against their own inflation. If they have inflation issues in their country or with their own currency, Bitcoin could actually potentially help a country get out of impoverished situations and save their monetary system. So, and I think that's what the whole vision of Satoshi is to be able to exit out of any type of system that's about to collapse, and Bitcoin is that hedge against that collapse. So investor confidence. As positive news and developments surround cryptocurrency, it tends to attract more investors. Positive developments could include the launch of new features, successful partnerships, adoption by major institutions, or favorable regulatory decisions. Increased investor confidence leads to higher demand, driving up the price. So, speculation and trading. Cryptocurrency markets often driven by speculative trading. Traders aim to profit from price movements by buying low and selling high. When traders anticipate that the price of cryptocurrency will increase, then buy it, which increases demand and subsequently drives the price up. Speculation can cause price volatility as market sentiment can change quickly based on news and rumors. And here's one example of how two different projects that were inflated due to a manipulation of speculative trading, and basically pushing and inflating the price up on an ICO, which was Internet Computer, ICP, Internet Computer Protocol, ICP, and Solana. Both of those coins were launched at a super kind of high valuation, and then dumped shortly after. So I think you see the pattern of kind of what happened there, and we ultimately, found out that Solana was highly affected by FTX and all of the different leverage trading through Alameda, and how Alameda actually was a key player in pumping up the price of Solana and eventually crashing it, and the same with ICP. So we have network effects. Some cryptocurrencies derive value from network effect, which is a network effect can happen when, say, like Cardano. Cardano has these network upgrades. Ethereum has these network upgrades, and then that can be a network effect with the use case of the actual currency with gas. And that's how we can base our price of supply and demand on network effects. So, for example, if a cryptocurrency gains widespread acceptance as a medium of exchange or store of value, more merchants may start accepting it, increasing its utility and demand. This positive feedback loop can lead to price appreciation. So, it's important to note that supply and demand factors interact with other market forces such as market sentiment, which, so if we have a good market sentiment for cryptocurrencies, I think right now, overall economic conditions, regulatory developments, and that's 100% what we're dealing with right now is big regulatory developments with all these different cases with Coinbase, with Binance, with XRP, with the SEC, and global events, which we have global events that are happening right now. That is the war in Ukraine with Russia, and then we have all these different things happening monetarily around the world. We have basically a lot of different factors that come into the supply and demand, and that's why we want to hold the big daddy papa Bitcoin. We want to see the strength of Bitcoin go up. We see that if we look at the price over time, that we will see, look where we were. And look how, just look where we were. We were way up here. We've been on the biggest downtrend since like any like downtrend that's ever existed. Even ones from the early days, in the early bear markets and bull markets. This has just been probably just one of the biggest, downtrends, essentially due to all of these different black swan events. But I think in that we're kind of programmed in Bitcoin with all these different events. It's almost kind of like it's programmed in to succeed on the failure of other things. And it's really interesting. So it's like, that's how it's gaining its traction, is through that adoption of what it is built for. It's built to hedge against the system that is trying to gain full control over our finances in every single aspect. So it's up to us to stay strong and stay diligent. And let's see how many concurrent views we got. Okay, we got 3 likes. We can get a little more likes than that. Come on, guys, let's do it. So if we look into some other news here, we have on the hourly, so look, the graph is getting some traction, 4%, Hex back up 3%, Bitcoin Satoshi Vision up. Let's see what else. XRP 47 cents, and Litecoin's halving is coming up very soon. We have $100, $106 right now, and that just went up on the 7 day. On the weekly, it's up 20%. So we've seen a really nice move with Litecoin, and I love Litecoin. I think Litecoin is a good second option for people getting into crypto, and I think for a lot of people, it's like sometimes like the first coin that they bought, they maybe bought it, when they saw it on these different platforms that were offering it for cryptocurrency purchases, like through Venmo or Cash App or Robinhood, and I think it's a good bet. Honestly, I think it's a good long-term bet. I really don't think Litecoin's going anywhere. I think it has a good community and probably a good solid development team behind it, and it works. It has the same mechanisms as Bitcoin. It has a limited supply. It's proof of work. You can mine it, and it has a halving built into the mechanism, just like Bitcoin. So the halving is coming up in I think a month or maybe 40 days, or probably I think probably a month. So I think that's what the price is starting to trade up on that news. And you can see here on the 7-day, we were just at like 82 on the 23rd, and then we hit a high right here of $111. But if we look at its all-time high, we've had two different all-time highs. Of right here, we had 320, and then we had one here that was 345. And I remember seeing that. I remember seeing that huge pump on Litecoin. And I remember like listening to some YouTubers, and they were saying like, yeah, you got to get into Litecoin, you got to get into Litecoin. I remember it was like probably like 73 cents or $73, and it just spiked up. So I mean, we could see that again. This is, so you got to think this is bull market. So this is when Bitcoin, if you're looking at Bitcoin, this is when it was at, to May 21st. You're looking at, May 21st here. Let's see. It was like, May 21st. Yeah, it was like 40,000. It was around that. Yeah, it was like over 40,000. Close to it. Yeah, so I mean right there and then right there. So that was the peak bull market where we were getting almost close to 7. We basically like touched 70,000 for a little bit, and then we're like So we're going to see some mountains like that again, guys. We're going to see some mountains like that again. You see that? You see that? And look at that. Biggest downtrend ever in the world. And this is a lot of people's price targets here, is around that. It's going to take a little bit of time, because you have to see kind of where from right here, this movement, from here to here was a 60% move. But in that, if you look in here, it took a little bit of time to get there. It took a little bit. But it didn't chop too much. But you can see here, kind of retrace a little bit. But then you can see it just steady started going up, started gaining more support. So that's what I think we're seeing right here when we're looking at the 4-hour and. I think it's looking good. I mean, look. I think we have a head and shoulders here, and we might be breaking bullish. If we don't, we're probably going to end up testing that 29.2 range again, and we'll break below 30,000 and start skirting around in the 29s. But if we break 30,700 tonight or tomorrow, then we'll probably start to get more support for going over 31,000. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it, Karen. Yes, I made it back home safe. Drove to Atlanta. It was pretty. It was a good drive. I had a Camry. The Camry drove nice. I couldn't drive my normal ride. It was in the shop, so had to rent a car. And, my wonderful wife helped me with all the logistics. Shout out to my beautiful, wonderful wife for helping me with, stuff like that. Sometimes I would be a mess if I had to do all that stuff myself. So I'm just very grateful that I have someone that is on my side helping me out. It's a beautiful thing. So going into something with some Twitter news, we have Elon Musk basically limiting the views and readings of posts on Twitter because there was some data scrapping and system manipulation. He said, we've applied the following temporary limits, and it was verified accounts are limited to reading 6,000 posts a day, unverified accounts to 600 posts a day, and then new unverified accounts to 300 a day. So I can imagine that the Twitter servers are like running on basically SpaceX jet fuel here. because I think Twitter has seen probably an influx of users like that they can't even almost can't handle. And because I'll tell you, to be honest, like I don't even use Facebook anymore. I honestly, I don't even use Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. I might share my crypto video onto Facebook or a story or something like that, but I haven't actively actually used Facebook. It's honestly, it's not even in my radar to use. Once you're in crypto, you're basically on Twitter. And if you remember back in the day when Twitter first launched in 2006 or something, I think it was 2006 or 2007. When was Twitter founded? Twitter was founded in the year. Was it 2006? Oh, it was close. Yeah, so yeah, 2006, 2007. And I remember, like, it was so popular to have the Twitter feeds, the most recent Twitter feeds on the news, and it was like getting instant, instant news, an instant tweet right when something was happening. And Twitter is OG. It really is kind of, you think about it, really like an OG social media platform at its essence is just to provide quick, easy information as a profile. It's obviously evolved in a different way now to where we have, full form Tucker Carlson shows on here now, and we have a lot of different groups and organizations that use it for marketing and media tactics and things like that to build companies. And so obviously things have to grow and they have to evolve. But I think honestly, and a lot of people would agree or disagree, whether Elon Musk buying Twitter or acquiring Twitter, where it made a difference. And I truly believe it really did, because there was a lot of manipulation in Twitter. They were just like basically run rampant with banning people left and right if they weren't on a certain type of agenda or speak in a certain way. And it was just basically ran like a tyrannical, North Korea style, where it's like, oh, if you say this, you're gone, you're black bad, you're done. And so can't run like that. It's not a free and open society of sharing ideas, and it doesn't matter if you don't agree, that as long as it's something that they're basing it off of what they might believe is true, they can still talk about it, and then it's up to us to present the facts and also dig into it. You do your own research. That's why CoffeeZilla exists. That's what CoffeeZilla is basically doing. He's taking all these people and these influencers, and he is exposing how when you're on especially when you're on the internet, it's just, there's a lot of things that seem, maybe too good to be true, or also there's just a lot of tricky, sneaky things on the internet, especially when it comes to social media and influencers and all that stuff. Like, even, you just have to be diligent and not get too caught up in stuff. So yeah, I think personally, I think it was a good choice, Elon buying Twitter and basically chucking out all the no. Yeah, well, what was funny is that he brought in a sink, and he was like, yeah, I'm basically taking everything, the kitchen sink. Love his witty analogy. All right, so if you haven't, you should check out Ordinal wallets. They're pretty freaking awesome. So with the Ordinal wallet, you can inscribe your own name, your own SIN name with the BTC address. So if you see mine, it's danocrypto.xbt. So if you have a Ordinals wallet, you can, with sending using that name, you can type that name into the send address, and it should be able to receive Bitcoin. So you should test it out, see if it works. So you can buy cool NFTs on this website. One of the NFTs, Bitcoin NFTs that I own right now, is a Space Pepe. So Space Pepes The floor when I bought this was at point. Let's see, it was at like 0.00009, and now the floor is at 0.0066 sats. So the floor is definitely going up. I think over time when the actual price when the price starts to rise a little bit more and more demand goes into Bitcoin, we're going to see more price demand for ordinals and all of the different things that go into inscribing Bitcoin blocks. It's really, really cool. So if you guys haven't checked that out, I suggest you check it out for sure. You can explore the marketplace. You can, collect all kinds of stuff, all different value types and different, different art styles. A lot of different Pepe stuff. Like there's definitely a big trend of Pepe type NFT meme projects that are launching, and some of them are gaining good value. So you just gotta. Sometimes it might be a little bit of a pop a weasel. So yeah, so it's a cool thing you guys should definitely check out. Let's see what else is happening in the crypto news space here. So, we have Litecoin soars 14-month high. We talked about that, above $100, and then Bitcoin reclaims the 30K. But, with reclaiming that 30K, we're kind of just sitting at this 30,500 range, and we're just kind of waiting. We're just seeing what's going to happen. Once we got that news, now we're just kind of on that sideways, and the bullish target, I think, is $34,000. We can see if we had this move up here, look at that price movement all the way up to here. That was 14%. We could definitely see a bullish pennant breakout. If we see 14%, we're at 34,000. So I think that's what a lot of people are calling right now, and we'll just have to see how that plays out. If you're in a long, set your stop loss, set your take profit. And yeah, just trade safe, and like the video, hit the subscribe button, smash up the like. If you've watched this all the way through and you got this far through all the different talking points and the rants and the news and the charts, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for the support. I really, really appreciate it. I love making these videos. I feel like this is something that I was meant to do. And there's a lot of things that I know that I was meant to do in this life, and this is definitely one of them. And I really appreciate you guys, just giving me your time, because your time is valuable. And if you've spent any of your time watching my stuff, then thank you. I just want to thank you, and you could be doing anything else, but if you're spending your time watching me, then that is a blessing. So I really do appreciate it. I feel very gracious and want to thank you guys directly. So with that being said, I'm going to end this live stream, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.